TLO, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch, we are live, but by the time you see this, we won't be, so just leave a like, comment, subscribe. Turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK and all around the world, man. Don't forget, twitch.com. The username is right on the bottom of the screen right there, man. Come watch us live. Don't forget, we do got Patreon 5 days a week, and we got merch down in the description, man. This is called Bang Bang in the Manor, a documentary. I don't know what it's about, where it's about, or any of that, so I'm just going to watch. You get me. YouTube, this is my warning.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners.
True, talk to me. Did I press play? Yeah, I did. It's just warming up, I guess. Okay. Okay. Well, look at this smooth ass jazz music. Let me go ahead, fast forward.
Tell me people slip. I know that people overwhelming the overwhelming majority of black people and Caribbean people are law-abiding citizens. And yes, we may slip at times, but so does everyone else.
Urban Gorillas Production presents That's it. That's definitely a scream of a mother who's lost a child. Oh, we starting off. Okay.
Salom was a great son.
21.
Very, very loving. He would wake up and come and hug me and kiss me and said, "Mommy, I love you." He was a giving person. Very kind at heart. I don't want people out there to think, oh, because he's my child. But he was a friendly person. Very, very friendly. Would talk to anyone.
And that's always my first thought. That's how you're supposed to see your child. Your child ain't supposed to be doing dirt and letting you know he's doing dirt.
Anybody. At 2 a.m., the phone went. My daughter came and said, "Mommy, I've got something to tell you. Don't panic, but Salem has been shot." My son was shot from the back, and it was only one bullet. One shot that killed him.
That's all it takes.
When it happened,
R.I.P.
I questioned myself a lot. Where did I go wrong? Did I do something wrong? I can't think of anything I did wrong. I did what a mother could do. I've lost
That's a fact.
people around.
That's a lot of mothers' thoughts, though. What did I do wrong? Especially in a single mother household. Like, that's the general first thought. But, you know, you did all you could do, actually. That's the realization of it. You did all you could do. You could do nothing more for your son than what you did. And you know what's missing out that home? Father. Father would have brought in some more money, made it a better situation, potentially. And I'm not saying this in all cases, but potentially made it a better situation. Gave the son a little bit more morals, you know what I'm saying? Kept him out the streets or made him stay away from certain friends. You know, that ain't always the case, but sometimes, you know. But you know what it is, man? Section 8 applauds. Section 8 or anything like benefits, it applauds single families, single parent households. So, you know.
My relatives, but nothing at all compared to a loss of a child.
Yeah, nothing. I don't think nothing.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's like somebody put their hand in your chest and rip your heart out. It's so hard. It's so painful that I wouldn't know how to describe it to you unless you've been through it.
Yeah, I know.
7 of his friends were there. They saw what happened, but nobody is saying anything. I believe the police know who did it, but because they don't have enough evidence, somebody to stand up and say, I was there, I saw what is happening, you did it.
That's not happening. That's really not happening back in these days. Maybe now that'll happen, but
the police can't do anything. Their hands are tied behind them, and the police have to do more to find, to go to the roots of what is actually happening out there, instead of the media picking it up and saying another black person has been shot, is drug related. I think it's not fair on our young.
It would take place, and I basically see a lot of young people here in Britain starting to take on a way of life that is being abandoned in various parts of the United States. The gang culture is something that we have worked very hard to deal with, and a lot of people believe that it wouldn't happen in Britain. A lot of people even told me over the years, over the decade of coming back and forth, working with various groups, that it can't happen here, it won't happen here. And
I always thought that when he first said, when he's opened up, he said like a way of life, a way of gang life that we've eradicated. That's cap. But I will say the way that gang life is in Britain, it is eerily similar to how it used to be back in the day, like way back. It's not what's going on now. There's more like a system. There's more like a hierarchy over there in the UK.
I saw all of the various pillars being put in place for it to happen. I saw the economic deprivation. I saw the breakdown of the families. I saw that young people in the schools were feared by their teachers, and in some cases, the educational curriculum was very racist and not open to different ideologies and different human experiences to allow young people from various cultural backgrounds to feel appreciated and feel like they have a place in Britain and as a part of the culture. I saw all of these things start to develop.
Yeah, Brody, he should have had a YouTube channel back in the day. Like if he would have had a YouTube channel, Where in Britain are we, first and foremost? Where are we?
I felt the need to carry a gun because
Is this Birmingham? Blickenham?
one stage I just got into such a point where I felt I needed to carry a gun.
Manchester?
I live in a block of flats, and downstairs there's a security door. But sometimes like anyone could just walk in the security door, and sometimes there'll be like 2 or 3 boys waiting at the top of the stairs for me outside my own door, like looking to do me something. You get me? And I'm thinking, no, what's going on? Like, can't be doing this here outside my mum's yard. I didn't know what to do. I felt I was stuck. I felt I was in such a hole. I didn't know what directions to take because no one's going to help me, really. No one's going to stick their neck out for me. I don't have no older brothers, nothing.
He did voice his concerns a few times why he needed to get away from
his mother?
It's because there was so-called gangs after him, or boys, I'm not sure. And he felt his life was in danger. And that, to me, I couldn't believe that, you know. It was like, this can't be happening. In this day and age, my son, there's boys after him. For what reason? There's no apparent reason for all of it.
When I got threatened with a gun, that's when I decided this is it. Like, it's all long. It's either I'm gonna deal with it, like, and get rid of the person that's threatening me, or I'm just gonna just let it die off in it and just move off.
We were trapped. You know, I wasn't working. There was limited things I could do because I couldn't get a mortgage to move out, couldn't get a transfer. And so he built up an animosity towards the area and where we live. And he turned it into anger, I think. You know, but my fears now, I don't know if I really have fears. I worry about him a lot because he's out there on the streets. I don't know where he is.
Oh, he just
left? The only way he contacts me is through a phone box now and again. And that's it. And
you know why he did that, probably? Not because, like, you kicked him out or something, probably, right? Maybe because he felt safe. Maybe he felt like he was protecting you by not being home no more. Because, like he said, they was up waiting for him at the crib.
Disturbing to know that I have my son, my firstborn, out there, and I don't know where he is.
There's not a lot of options out there, is there? If I want to do this, I can't really do it. Like, if I want to do that, everything's expensive out here. Serious, like, London is expensive.
Okay, London.
And we just feel like trapped.
When you're ready, yeah? Yo. I was waiting on the streets of North, round the corner from the football ground. Tottenham, aka Gangster Town, where the thugs go round. No, but it's afros, all like come to the right side, yeah, reppin'. Moved to the east side, very young. Still in school, but still wasn't on done with McKenny and Stowe. But I lived in Leighton, who my ones, or with Menace or Nathan. Fuck Blatant, North East London, that's my manor. That's why I talk with this fuck that grammar. You can find me in Hackney in a banger. And if I blow out, still rep my manor. Cause I've got love in the manor. Grew up and made a little dough in the manor. All my thugs still shotting rocks in the manor, ducking cops in the manor, cause it's hot in the manor, in my manor. There's still bare gunshots popping off and still bare mans getting murked then dropping off. Cause they still wanna act like they're real, but they're phony fake. Your best friend, he might be a snake. Now don't make a mistake and make...
What was this, early 2000s? No, this looked like the 90s, right? It's gotta be the 90s, right?
Friends with the staples, all they wanna do is eat off a plate. And the girls in my ends, they're still skets on my ends. They're still banging me, my enemies are banging my friends. And giving head in the action, they're in a winner. I'm gonna take a bear, man, I've been up in the manner. It's the remix, same chorus, but the verse lyrics have been... People we've grown up with are just like dying, like, over
Sizzlos.
Many people I've known, like, either died or brain damage or stupidness, like.
Anything could happen, any situation could occur at any time. You can just walk into your car, man could try and run up on you for anything. Your phone, your money, for your car.
That's how it is, isn't it?
I swear, bro, I've never seen... Before I watched that one of Manchester, and, like, of course I see, like, little flashbacks of when the older rappers was younger. This looks eerily similar to what was going around in the United States at the same exact time, though. Like, we would have never thought this was happening over there. We would have thought it's all tea and crumpets.
Wherever you are, man can roll up on you any minute. You just gotta be prepared for it.
I don't know anyone that just rolls freely and goes manor to manor without thinking, oh, I'm gonna get hurt because of this and because of that. Like, it's not like that anymore. Before you could just roll everywhere, but now it's just got ridiculous. Like,
The cheapest gun on the street was what? 152 bills, what?
£100, you get a
sauna.
Yeah. The police and the politicians know that.
Oh yeah, Headstone at the start was 2002.
Guns and vests, you can get
That's
that
why
easy.
they brought out that crime. If you get caught with a gun, 5 years. Because they understand how much guns are on the street.
They know
and
that.
understand that most of them are rebels. It's only top shotters that got proper teams.
You
The
get me?
nines and whatever
And the pretty
behind that
things.
start shotting. Besides that, all the kids have got rebounds. But the thing is, all the kids want to be the man, so they will shoot you. No long team, why not?
It's easy to get guns on the streets. I can have one here in about half an hour. And that's serious, just 1, 2 phone calls and it's here. Like, whatever you need, it's there. Silencer, machine guns, even fucking, so I've been told, hand grenades.
What is going on? What did you just say, brother? It's early 2000 business, huh? Most popular street gun in the world. Not only did the UK have these, but the Chicago, this was heavy. Still is a little bit, kinda.
Take 9mm shells. You know, 9 bits. This is the clip for it. You know. Push that clip back there. There's a silencer right there for it. Screw that on. Cock it back. Yeah. Take it off safety, and it's ready to fire.
What other arms do you sell?
3/8s, 9s, anything.
How young is the youngest person you've sold a gun to?
Probably about 15, 14.
Knowing that so much man names have been killed on the street, don't you feel
I've seen a lot of these with shoelaces on them. It's tough.
any sense of responsibility, knowing that like you're arming people them on the street and these guns might be used for murders and stuff like that?
No, I don't.
My cousin had a fight earlier in the day because another boy ripped his jumper.
And what's crazy is now, stay away from these because it's a federal crime if you're watching in America. They got switches, man. The inventor of the Glock switch issued an apology. He said he wished he never made them. He made them for war tactics and war situations. But you gotta know the streets was gonna get that. It's tough. But that's a fair case. You get caught with a switch, you 10 years. Say goodbye.
He started automatic with the boy, he had a fight or whatever, and he thought that was it. He obviously went away, left it, thinking that, you know, nothing's gonna happen. It's all silly what happened. And basically I nearly got killed over a jumper or something.
Biscuit.
You know, basically when I came in here that night, there was like 30 boys standing up on the balcony, like a whole load of them. I was standing here and a guy came from round the cars, gassed me in the face, and then I looked towards over this way, and then I see the gunman basically come running across there and shoot at my friend's car. When I see all this going on, you know, I basically, you know, took off out of the state. And then I was just at the bottom of the drive here, and I felt a quick, you know, through my back, you know, and I didn't know what it was. I thought, you know, I'd been stabbed or something, like someone was running up behind me, because I heard footsteps as well. So when I got to about, say, you know, at this bollard, I just felt, you know, and I was looking at my hand, I was losing a bit of blood, and then I came to like in the middle of the road, and like basically I was like on all fours like that, like crouched down in a crouch position. So it was like, I was thinking to myself, you know, am I gonna die here?
Dang, they gave him a zipper too? Yeah, it came through his back. They had to open him up, had to make sure all them vital organs are still good.
I was in hospital for about a month and a half.
That's rough.
The doctors was working on me for quite a while. I had like quite a lot of intestines removed, and you know, it was just pretty horrible.
Put you on the bag.
We was all in Trocadero, all just standing up by the escalators. The next thing I knew, there was an argument between two black boys and some girl, and then it looked like the boy was being punched, and then I see him fall to the floor, and then when they were stabbing him, punched him again. He must have been stabbed about 4 times, And then everyone ran off, and the boy was dead, and that was it. He was only 17, and it was just a stupid argument, really, over nothing. And he died, and that was it.
What her shirt say? Chick-fil-A?
Everybody was there, and no one would talk to the police or nothing. And then, like, the next day, I think for the next week, the police were there every day, and they were just, like, grabbing older people and saying, was you here on this day?
They're only going to be with you while you're giving them the information. When that man's maybe coming back, yeah, because they're maybe not understanding the seriousness of what's happening, yeah. Fair enough, there's Operation Trident, but you go to Trident and say that you've seen this crime, yeah. Now, when Trident have gone, after taking your statement, yeah, the witness protection system in this country isn't that much enforced that they can safeguard you and your family. Because the thing is, the problem doesn't just stem from the actual man that got shot. There's his mother, his sister, his aunt, and blah, blah, blah. And if they can't actually get to the person that's actually maybe done the shooting, they will target your other family. So in a lot of cases, it's actually safer not to talk.
Just all over London now. And even out of London, it's just getting terrible. Like, girls, the bare man just getting taken off road for silliness.
When it comes to the street thing, England is behind, England is late. You get me? It's like, England is late. Now, England is coming, soon England gonna be like America. Probably Jamaica, Trinidad, all in place there. England is...
I always thought that too. Yeah, I thought like, cause at the same time, early 2000s, we was transitioning out of this. They got like a like I said, like a 90s, 80s type vibe going on. They're about 20 years behind.
It's late.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, just might as well should have avoided all of this, really.
That's the beginning. England is like a virgin to gangster thing. You know?
Definitely.
And we all good guys.
Definitely.
But I'm just saying it out there, everybody knew it, man. And
you know what's crazy? A lot of people in England love Pac, right? Tupac had a nose ring. But yet y'all be asking me about my nose ring. Ain't nobody got... Like, get off my body, man. It's not for you, sir. You are not the target audience. You just think I got a nose ring to explain to a man? No. This ain't gotta be explained to no woman. She gonna like that. Just saying.
It's me, because you must know it wherever you come from around. There ain't nowhere in London that is cool. No one can say London is cool. If it's cool, it's because maybe it's but everywhere it's getting touched. It's like a virus. Yeah. Serious.
It's all about choices.
It's a virus. Everybody gonna get it. It's all about who gonna survive it. That's all it is. And who gonna die.
A lot of girls carry guns into clubs for like their partners and boyfriends and things like that. And I think, you know, they've got to get clued up, because they're basic. If anybody dies at the hands of that gun, it's their fault.
I know somebody that did carry a gun for her boyfriend.
That's very popular here still.
One time we was in the house, and I think
it's almost minimal for a gangster. Like if you my girl and I'm a thug, you got to do that.
I'd already seen a gun once before, and she put it in my hand, and her little boy was in the room, and I must have gone like that, like pointing it up, and must have touched the trigger thing, and she started screaming, don't put it, it's loaded. And I was like, you idiot, I didn't even know it was real. Like, I didn't know it was a real gun.
I'm so sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Why would you even...
stupid friend.
Yeah, I know.
Right now, I don't know.
Her child
why
is
is
in the
that? That situation is so...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No wonder they don't want to help us. Look what we're doing.
And it's
do you know what I mean? Whether it's loaded or not, whether you know it's loaded or not, why is that in the face of your child?
It's a solid point, but like whether it's loaded or not, whether it's real or fake, why would you grab it like that?
That's Caven. Never see him again.
Oh dear. Caven was killed in Stonebridge outside Potterton House, and he was shot 6 times. He had a shot in his knee, just above. I think it was his right foot.
Patsy.
And that shattered the foot. And he had one in his back, because it looked like when he got the shot he was running. So he had one in his back, one up in his shoulder. He had one in his chest, and I think one in his side. In total it was 6. Yeah. The police had told me that they held the guy, but they haven't got any proof. Nobody has come forward to say this is a guy that shot Caven. So there's not much that one can do.
When I was shot, no one was arrested. No one went to court. No one came forward. There was quite a lot of people there, and that's the way it was. I was shot 3 years ago. I had seen the police only once, and I haven't seen the police since, up till now, up to this day. If that's the way that they're treating a attempted murder case, you know, what are they treating like a real murder?
Nothing much isn't really being done, is it? With all the shooting, the killing, and whatever that's going on.
All black households in America, in Chicago, at bare minimum, late 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s had this couch. Had this couch pattern, and my mom had this, guaranteed. I remember it. I remember it was in Rogers Park. She had this couch.
You know, there's not much people that's been caught for what they've done. Even like the little girl Tony Ann, a little innocent child, she hasn't even lived.
In every walk of life, we have challenges and there's a struggle. We don't need to fight ourselves. We need to fight the enemy. We need to fight injustice. We need to fight oppression. We need to fight those things that hold us down, not fight ourselves.
This is devastating. That's a child.
I don't think the media did do their jobs properly. They was only interested in some
headlines,
bad
views.
Story about my dad, so they could put it all over in the newspaper, and that is what they basically did. They came and they said they're gonna offer me money to talk to them, and I said no. I wasn't interested.
How much money were they?
$100 guaranteed. Probably less than that. Oh, this was early 2000s. 50.
They said they can't compensate me for the loss of my dad and my sister, but they're willing to pay me. They didn't really say how much, and I wasn't interested. I need the money, but not like that. All they had to say about my dad was he's been in prison and everything bad. They don't really try to get anything good. They never yet write, oh, he's a good father. The day before they died, he went to get Tony and school clothes for her to go to school. Nothing like that. They're just saying,
R.I.P., man, to that little girl. That is dramatic. That is...
oh, he was a drugs dealer, he got shot. It doesn't make sense. To me, the media over here, they're only just for, mostly for white people, I should say.
Black people cannot do no good in this country. Whether you're trying to do good, yes or no, they never see the good that you've done. They only see the bad side of it.
If a woman's purse gets stolen, it was 3 black youths, and that fits the perfect picture.
That's the 3 black boys that are walking home from probably doing like, you know, homework. Do you know what I mean? But they just happen.
Nah, no cap. That do be the description. Like when they could pull you over and they be like, "Oh, you fit the description." What's the description, officer? An African American man. Like, come on, man. At least in America, I can't speak for them, but they speaking for me. Like they doing the speaking. So
Happen to be walking down this road where an offence has happened and they've just been targeted.
This is happening to me.
There's nothing they can do about it. They're going to be searched. They're probably going to.
You fit the description. What? Excuse me?
Get arrested. Their homes are going to probably be turned over. Do you know what I mean? And it's just not fair at the end of the day. Like the police have got no respect for the young black youth.
They stop and search them, they harass them. You'll see one young black boy standing up, maybe 14, with 15 policemen standing around him, antagonising him. Nah, he's not really going to grow up and have respect for the same people that antagonise him as a youth. Everywhere you walk, you'll see police stopping young black boys. You can't be a black boy maybe riding a bicycle with a cap on, late at night with your hood on.
You can't be in a car. You can't be in a car.
Because a robbery
with a
keeps
cap
happening
on
in the area.
Exactly. Without being stopped by the police.
That is so true.
And
Yeah,
if you think
it's
about
true.
it, that's a violation of your human rights.
Yeah.
It's taking everything from you. It's embarrassing to be standing up on the street with all these people walking past and you're standing up there and they're patting you down. And there's 5 of them around you. It's horrible. It's not nice. They're not really going to.
They lose respect for the police and like.
Because they're.
It's demoralizing, especially when you know you ain't did nothing. It's demoralizing.
Antagonizing.
It hurt.
Longer, like, you know what I mean? Youth are not gonna not do things.
Because the thing is, it's not as if they're not only going to them for murders. Most black boys, if their house got burgled, they're not calling the police either. So they're happy with you taking their things, so long as that man doesn't walk through it.
Black people do not have confidence in the police.
She gonna go pick something up right now. That's crazy.
When I was 15, I could have gone 2 ways. One was the way with enough of my brethren going out doing armed robberies and stuff like that. I could have easily been in that life. Some of my friends, my good friends, male and female, spent most of their 20s in prison, most of their 30s in prison, in and out of prison. If the wind had blown that way a bit harder, I probably wouldn't even be doing this interview with you today as Dr. Liz. You may be doing it in Belmarsh, behind bars, with a serial criminal. Because sometimes it's that easy to walk on that side of the road. Let's think about how the media represents black on
100%. It's very teeterable.
So we had the murder of Tony Ann and the 7-year-old girl and her father. We had Letitia and Charlie in Birmingham, and the media will highlight them for a few days. But then if you contrast it to how, you know, Holly and Jessica and how their murders were framed out there in the public arena, there's not a disparity. It's representative of the percentage of the community that we are. What our problem is for me, for a lot of us, what our problem is we really expect white society to put our issues at the forefront in the same way as they do as things that affect them. They're not gonna do it. If white boys were shooting each other proportionately to the way how black boys are, let's say, that would be on the front page of every paper. Until this black on black violence really starts to impact on the surroundings,
that is a crazy headline. There's a little girl who lost her life, and this is the headline. Like
Till this black-on-black violence really starts to impact on the surrounding white communities, I don't think much will be done.
If you look at things like even the news, yardie gun crime. Now, half of the gun crime that's going on is not yardies, it's people that are born and bred in England. Yeah. So the whole perception, what society gives of black men is negative.
What percentage of the...
This is why I don't watch the news, because the news never tells the full story. They just want headlines. They want shock value as well. So I don't really count on the news for news.
Black population in Britain.
I don't really count on the news for truth in news.
Yardies. And what percentage of the black population in Britain are yardies who are into this kind of gang violence? Most of the yardies I know are too busy trying to survive, maintain and feed their families to be caught up in this stuff. So we need to even think about the ideas of black or the black community that the media project out there. And
Teenage Years was the movie Scarface. Al Pacino ain't black, you know, but this movie helped shape and mold my generation's perception of how to make the American dream come true for those with nothing. Because in this movie, the character Scarface came from nothing and built an empire.
Literally.
You know, and even the craze. You know, I hadn't been to England, but I knew about the craze. And when we saw these individuals get to a position where they had power and in many cases respect in their community, then we wanted that as well. So in a lot of cases, we took on some of the philosophies and principles that we started to live according to from the things that we were exposed to through the television.
We all know this is a movie.
And then when it comes down to identifying who's responsible, the first examples you'll hear, Soul Solid Crew, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls. You hear about all of the residue of what really caused the behavior in the first place.
What's going on here?
Starts off life, he starts off broke and poor. Man has nothing. You go out, you see like on TV, you see on TV that people have everything and you have nothing. So then you're determined no matter what, just to make yourself, not even enough, to make yourself more than enough change. So that whenever you go out, if you see something you like, you got the money, blam. Just say right there, blam, I want that. It costs 100,000, what? 100,000 pounds, you don't care. Just drop the money on the table and take what you need to take. You can get whatever you want, whenever you want it.
It's TV, like you see cribs in it, like you see people's houses, like with them rap stars or with them black people in it.
Little
so you're thinking raw, like you get me?
Chop chain.
Little's got on one of the nicest hats I've ever seen. That's a socks. It's nice.
You see it like what we can do it too in it, like. But there's ways to do it. Like you want a house, you want a car, you want a chicks. You get me? You want to look decent, you want to have clothes, you want jewelry. You see it. See if ice.
When you go raving as well, you want to be the man with bad drinks in and
you see, you always want to be flossing. So
yeah, man. There's plenty of ways to do it now, especially in 2024, man. If you go out on the block and you make a below minimum wage, selling Class B drugs, you're wasting your life. 100%. 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You could be doing so much more.
You have to have money in your pocket anyway, innit? Like. So that's how I say it's TV as well.
R.I.P. Bernie
when you
Mac.
meet a boy, you look at, I don't really go by cars, but it's how they're dressed and how they carry themselves sort of thing. And it's not even that, it's the respect that they get. Do you know what I mean?
But that's just today's society, because a girl doesn't generally want a guy that's got a broken down car.
Yeah, true.
That's all.
True.
You want a man.
Well, if you walking, it's a substantial upgrade. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta walk no more. I mean, this car is broken down, but I am not walking. And you know what I'm saying? Talk to me, Tasha.
That wears a Rolex, that's got nice trainers, and when you first meet a guy, like you're going for his appearance.
W cameraman looking at her wrist, no Rolex. Hey, good camera. Good camera work.
It doesn't look.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, that's funny.
But he could be nice, but you know. little things do help. I don't think like I'm not
It's
going
a
to sit
shame
here
for
and
me.
say I don't like nice things. The only thing that pisses me off is the fact that once we do get something, we behave like we're so not
This is a
used
solid era. I was a child. If this is early 2000s, I was a kid.
to it. Like we have to have the biggest earrings, the biggest belt, the biggest of
Good
everything.
times, though.
We're so like we're
If
so
you look
deprived
at-
of it,
alright
and we
then.
are at the end
If
of the
you
day.
look
We
at
have
our
been deprived of
ancestors,
it,
yeah,
but
if
I
you
don't
look
think
at- if you
the
look
way
at
we
the
behave. I don't think we always need to.
Even if
It's
your
just-
mum can't afford it, she's
had
gonna
it,
buy
yeah.
you them
Divine,
trainers.
yeah.
But exactly, that's where it's all gone wrong.
But then
Exactly,
I wouldn't say
because
that. But
maybe
if
instead of having the best trainers, maybe you should have sent your kid to private school.
Girl, shut up, Karen. Did you just compare trainers to the price of private school? Are you delusional? Come on, hey Karen, get off the screen. You just made me mad. Like everything else you said might be negated because of that dumb comment. That was a stupid comment.
Like,
A lot of people say no comment is a stupid comment. That's dumb.
and maybe that's where these young boys are
You have
how
to
they're
pay
growing
for
up.
private school.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to pay
how
for
much?
trainers.
How much are Air Max?
You don't want your child to.
Just $50. Back then, Air Maxes was like $60 a max. Like it's not the same as private school. What are you on about?
Go with that, and we have got a lot of pride, so we will break our backs to give our kids the best. And if that means for black boys to go out on the road and sell drugs and do whatever criminal activity they have to do, they're gonna do it to get what they want.
Buy. You must have this, you must have that in order to be hip, in order to be cool. And MTV Base showcasing and modeling products, not individuals, products in front of the young people every day.
Or temptation, do you know, at this precise stage, temptation can even get me. Even though I'm working, I'm doing a legit thing. Tomorrow I could go outside, someone does something fast to me, then I have to change my whole attitude towards life. And
When I was in high school, bro, literally, I just got a job. It was as simple as that. Workers permit. I was working like my freshman or sophomore year. The moment I could get a job, I went and got a job. Now, that's not to say I stayed in that job, but I know in high school I was fresh because of that job. What did I have to do? I gave my mom what, like $100 a month? You know what I'm saying? $150 a month, and the rest was mine. Man, stop. Well, I had every Jordan. I had every pair of Evisu bathing ape pink whatever I needed. I was outside. This was during the white tee era too. What? Give me a crispy little white tall tee from Foot Locker. 3 foot. What was it? 3 foot. No, it was 5 for $20. Was it 5 for $20? Yeah. It's really when you started going away from white and going to different colors is when you got a little iffy. And I learned that quickly. You know what I'm saying?
basically put up another attitude just to get myself around in life. So that means I'll probably say, forget work, forget this. Because them mans are bad, they're doing this. Why don't I do that as well? Because look, I have to put up a front anyway. I have to go on bad now already, so why not do that and make a little money?
All my thugs still shotting rocks in the manor, ducking cops in the manor, cause it's hot in the manor, in my manor. Cause it's hot in the manor, in my manor,
The following scenes were recorded by dealers themselves, okay?
Got to make the man them get rich right now.
Okay, this how we started off?
That there, the essence there, look at that. You know what that is? What's that there? What's that there? Tell him, no, tell him, say funny voice though. What's that there? That's the B right now. What's that there? Look, it's on the scales there. What's that way? What's that way?
That's H.
Oh, dude. You have to tell them though. The B that is there. We ain't dealing with the white thing. That's the B. Look at that. There, quick shot right now. What's that, $5 grand you get from that? You're gonna show you the P's in a sec when the man comes to buy the thing. Don't watch nothing. What's that there on the scales? What's that? Look at your hands, bruv. Nasty up. You didn't even wear no gloves, bro. This is a Grammy B shop. This is the survival.
You're chipping. Nah, just stop chopping and then chop about half and that's it.
No, he's a man. All my fucks still shotting rocks in the
Yeah, no gloves is insane. Oh, gloves is insane. Like, well, don't rub your eye. Don't go eat nothing. You better wash your hands.
One of the things I know from my own research, where I've been speaking to a lot of the, the black youths who are drug dealers from say 14 to around, let's say 19, because that's been the kind of sample group that I've been interested in. And for a lot of them, it's their career. It's a career path and choice. They know that they can start off selling drugs for people. Then when they accumulate enough wealth for themselves, they can cut that person out and go to usually the white face behind it, get the drugs, and that way, how much money do they make? It's central to everything, because...
Stay drug-free, man. But yeah, man, get middleman for a while, get enough money to skip the middleman, move up the ladder.
The drugs not only support
allegedly
or support anyone they wish to support out of it, that is what allows them to buy into this consumerist American dream as well. It's the drugs. The drugs are essential. Otherwise, how would they make the money?
Work.
I've just seen your operation. How much money do you make a week?
Well, I can make 6 to 7 grand easy, like easy in a week, like profit.
And what would be the average age of one of your soldiers?
About 15, 16, the average age, but yeah, 16.
And what sort of money would they earn a day?
Well, it depends if they're shot in their own food.
Minimum.
Or if you just get a set wage, like, like £100 a day. Depends what they shot out in the day.
And when he says a day, doesn't mean an average 8-hour shift. A day is like 18, 16 hours. $100 hours and 16 hours, that's below minimum wage back then for sure. Ain't it? Where's my calculator at, man? 100 divided by 625. I was working at Jewel Osco making $580 my second job or something. Like 6 something my second job.
If you take a walk from where we are now in New Cross and go down the road to Deptford, you will see them openly around these little spaces selling drugs, black youth. You'll see them just over the road.
Minimum wage in 2004 in the UK was £3. But the dollar, the value of y'all money was higher though, so it probably equaled out, right? I'm hoping. Godly, that sounds insane.
Road there as well. Now, broad daylight, selling drugs. It's their business. They're there every day, 9 to 5. They have no future orientation whatsoever. Don't even mention pension to them. That's twice as long as they expect to live.
Wait a minute, what? In the UK back then, if you were under 21, you got paid a separate wage? They could pay you less? That's a little bit crazy. I believe I was getting paid. They didn't have that in America for sure. No, ain't no way. I'm here, I'm at work. You gonna pay me the same as an adult. It ain't my fault this adult got this teenager job. That's his fault. Pay me for what I'm doing in here.
Let's have to protect ourselves from the hard days struggle and that. Like, this thing here. It's the 45 thing. You don't know how it gets done already. Big
1911 single stack. We don't want those, man. I'm only double stacking. Sorry.
It's a Clark team. Let's kill a boy with that.
I mean, it'll get the job. I mean, it'll protect you in a self-defense scenario.
Big, look at yourself. Look at that in your back. You ain't waking up, you know. Up you in all type of man there with that. Pussy Clark thing. Got that 45. Big type of thing. Big thing this, you know. Look at him.
Nobody cares. That's the worst ammo that I've ever seen. That is terrible ammunition. That's a 380
struggle. We have to protect our life. protect everything. And things that we showed you earlier, that's what we're protecting. You done that? Let's give it to you now.
I feel like I seen a documentary on this firearm.
Why is it that a lot of youths are dealing drugs?
Because it's an easy way to make money. Like it's the easiest way to make money, quick money. Think about it. Like an ounce on road, an ounce of white for £800. Chop it up to 10 bags, 0.2s. You make £1,400. You make 140 stones and sell every bag at a tenner. Can't go wrong. You do the same thing every day. You can't go wrong.
How is the government going to get to grips with this problem? How is society going to get to grips with this problem?
I think they just have to accept it, because you know, like you can call it a problem, but it's the way of life. You know, it's just this sort of age group. It's just how it is. How it's getting down, isn't it?
So what would it take to stop you selling drugs?
Lottery, definitely lottery. All the numbers then, plus the bonus.
So bro's basically saying for me to stop, there's nothing. There's no hope.
Are you being serious?
I'm serious when I say the lottery, man.
Then what's the solution? What's going to take you off street? Is it a bullet in the back of the head? Or is it jail?
The jail thing don't make man want to stop doing things. It's just greed. It's money, innit? Like, I don't know. I think our sort of age group have been conditioned in this certain way. Like, we just want material things. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's mad. You just get addicted to the hustle. You just want to do it, you know? You just want money, more things, more this, more that.
I will say, man, the hustle and bustle of DRUG selling life, it really equates to anything else. Like anything else. Like the way you structure your whole setup, you can literally structure a business like that. That same hustle, that same grind, that same I gotta get it done, back against the wall, let me figure this out, if I do this way, you can apply that to anything and be very successful. You just gotta treat it like a grind, just like you treating that like a grind.
Don't you have any sense of a conscience about selling drugs to people? I mean, you know, it destroys lives and things like that.
Not necessarily, because they were doing this thing before I even hit road. Most of the addicts then were fucked, you know? They were doing things before I even met them, before even my people meet them. So why should I have a conscience about them doing their thing? I reckon I'm just providing a service. I'm like a doctor. I got the medicine. So if they want it, I get it to them.
What, this a house? It's a house of crack.
I have got a good education.
See places like
You know what I mean? And my family life is good.
mate.
Got A-level maths, O-level English, O-level physics. My first job,
They would see this.
I was
Bro, Boothie is in there lighting up. 54, I'm just, writing down what I gotta blur out.
bookkeeper.
I would never sit somewhere
Yeah.
like that.
I've been a wages supervisor,
I used to think
finance supervisor,
How old am I?
fraud officer for the social.
But
Functioning.
Play.
A lot of what I kept smoking is one of my pals got shot standing right next to me. He got shot in a youth centre by a yardie over nothing.
See, I've been doing drugs the same length of time as him.
There was a Christmas extravaganza going on in a youth club I used to go to. Now, I've turned up at a Christmas extravaganza and a man's asked me if I'll work on the door for the night because there's been a lot of trouble in the day. So I'm working on the door. Now, a yardie's turned back up who had been arguing with my friend's brother in the day. They've had a big row on the door. I've calmed that down. As I've calmed it down, another yardie's come round the corner and shot my friend in the head.
Oh, wow.
Now, he shot my friend twice. As he's run off, I've dived on the floor for cover. As I've dived on the floor for cover, I've seen like half my friend's head missing. You know what I mean? So I was in a lot of shock. I never ever got no counselling or anything like that. And my only way out of coping with it was smoking rocks.
That sounds like user error, my boy. You should have went and got that counseling. Now your counselor is your dealer.
You know what I mean? Listen,
and your hope is that rock. That's tough.
smoking the gear took away all the pain of seeing him get shot.
I started on weed, and then through depression and through life and enjoyment as well. There's not only the bad side of it. To me personally, I used to take trips and even feel good. I used to feel good. I never used to hurt anyone, harm anybody. I used to go out to a rave and feel good, smoke a spliff, take it easy, you know. The loneliness of it all as well. This is a group. You can see us in a group here, but I think the loneliness of it all is very it's there. There's a lot of loneliness in it. There is. A lot of loneliness.
Why I started, I'll say it wasn't the reason, but if I sort of analyse it, it is. I had a lot of abuse as a kid, and I think I got into that, so when I had any problems or felt down and that, I could shut it off.
Split up with my wife, and I went through a bad time.
Bigger is...
She wouldn't let me see my daughter.
Down bad.
And I just met up with the wrong people, basically, you know? And that's how I started on drugs.
The turnover for a good dealer, right, if he's just got a few customers, he can gain $1,000 a day easy.
Lindsay, can I get
You know what I mean? Now, at 15, no, I won't even say 15 because I know dealers are 30.
Yeah.
At 13, if you're paying out $1,000 a day at 13, you know what I mean? You're living the high life. You get me?
The younger kids that deal, because they're getting younger now,
the point of that
and they're all in their little gang dealing, they're all connected, right? It's because they want to wear their designer clothes, their labels on their clothes, they want the latest trainers, the latest, what do they call it? What them Game Boy things, them sort of things.
PlayStation.
You know, and that's why they do it.
Dealers are getting younger nowadays, yeah? Because what it is, a lot of the older people with the drugs, it starts off, they give it to the younger ones to run the gear in case they get stopped and the younger ones can't get charged. The younger ones start realising how much
There's so much going on in this scene.
money's in it and start doing it themselves. You know what I mean?
Most of the drug dealers are black.
What?
The most
Most
drug
crack
dealers
is dealt by black people.
by crack, yeah. Heroin
That's not
isn't
true at
always
all.
heroin.
That's rubbish.
Heroin.
Sorry.
Can I finish?
Hold on, hold on, let me just say something.
Can I finish?
And I don't care what no one's got to say. Most crack dealers are black.
In different areas, different things. Hampstead, they're going to be white, aren't they?
No, when
not
you get
in here, it's
there,
going to be
hold
black.
on,
Ealing's
hold
going to
on,
be black.
hold on.
Black and white.
Hang on, I've lived in Hastings,
rubbish, isn't it?
right? I've lived in Hastings and I come from Brighton, which is South Coast, yeah? Since I've lived in London, yeah, they are. But I come from Brighton, I've lived in Hastings, South Coast and all that. And they're not, they're white. Because
Different
there's
areas,
not that.
different areas, different
yeah,
areas.
but
Yeah,
London,
they're not all
London
black,
it
they're not all
is
black.
mainly.
Everyone does it. It does. Do you know what I mean? All
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. This is an insane argument to even be having.
I'm saying basically just
This is what heads of crack argue about. That's tough.
it doesn't mean to say that it's just black people that
No,
do it. Whatever.
no.
There's mixed
Even
race.
up
Everyone,
north.
even Chinese people. It doesn't matter.
No, but we're not putting it on black people. All walks of life use drugs. Rich, poor, don't matter what colour you are. It can be pink with fucking red stripes. You're still going to use it. But the dealers that you've met since you've lived in London, what colour is the majority?
To be honest with you.
The majority.
Right, Asian.
Right. So they've still got dark skin.
Yeah.
Most street dealers are black, yeah? But
It's not the same.
the majority of the gear that comes in, it comes through white people first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all about money at the end of the day. If you want money and you can get away with selling drugs, you'll do
No, I
it.
know what you're saying, and I agree with you, even though they're... All the kids, whoever watches this film, they want to listen, and I mean listen properly to what they're hearing, take a good...
Hold on now. Let me check something real quick.
are seeing, heed what they've heard, and hopefully none of them will go the same way that we have. Because once you get in, it's one of the hardest things to get out of, drugs.
That boy was in there hitting the double dose. He had the top and the injector. That's tough. Down bad. It's crazy.
The clubs are like, they're alright, they're getting better. And no, the dances that I go to, I've never been in a dance where there's been any trouble or anything. So they're alright, I enjoy myself. I'm a person, I don't really get to go out that much. So when I do go out, I enjoy myself.
Yeah, the double.
Some girls go out with men because they're making their money and they can give them stuff. But I'm not one of those people that will have a man that just go out and look at a drug dealer just because I know they can buy me a car or they can do this. I'm not like that. If I meet a man and I like him and he's selling drugs, what can I do? But try to encourage him not to do it. But I know how the system is. You get me? I know how the system is. At the end of the day, they get used to the big money. You're not going to get them kind of money working 9 to 5. You're not going to get it, not at all. You get me? I'm not going to lie. Obviously, me as a female, me being with this guy, I'm going to get used to that money too. In the room. Mom!
Why are you hiding? Where's my trainers for these? Oh.
She looks slick with that top hat on. She killed the game.
Sorry. I'm waiting on the view now, but actually they were saying, because I'm meant to be going with them.
Where they going?
I know quite a few people that's been murdered.
We've had friends that's been
murdered, yeah. You know? It's hard. It's hard. I know a lot of young people out there, and when you hear they're involved in certain things, you think, oh my God, I've known them from a baby, like babies like my daughter. Certain things will stop you from going out and stay in your house like a hermit, like, you know. You've got to go out and enjoy yourself. You just don't mix with certain people, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter who you mix with, really, because you could be just standing right next to somebody and a gun could go off and it hits you, so, you know.
I'm kind of happy to be a female right about now, because I know if I was a man, I would be in the life, I would be like living the lifestyle they're living, the drugs, and I know I would be. Because if I'm the same age now, but I was just in a male body, I'd be living their lifestyle. Anyway, I'm kind of happy. All I could do is have babies. Get me? What was I don't know why it's like this.
At the end of the day, I feel like the police are saying, oh, let them get on with it. They're killing their one another. Let them get on with it. So many murders, and none of them, a lot of them hasn't been solved.
Even so, yeah, why would they even bother with it after
you know?
the first week?
I think the worst murder that's been over the last few years is the little girl in Kensal Rise, the 7-year-old, I feel. I think that opened people's eyes. And I think a lot of these people that have been shooting people will think about that child and say, no, a life is a life. Money ain't nothing.
Keep showing this little girl, R.I.P. man, that sucked.
But at the end of the day, her father was a drugs dealer, and that's all that was flashed.
Yeah,
drugs
that's
dealer.
all they said.
Rare. You know, they couldn't say her father was killed and he was a known drugs dealer. He was shot the year before, and all these bad things coming out about this man when, okay, he's a big man, he died, he knew what he's doing, but the little girl, that is what is sad. That is sad. I think that one should be solved, but whether it gets solved, it'll probably just be like all the rest.
There's another funeral. A crazy song for funeral right now.
Government really want to cut this problem, they have to put plans in place. They can't just knock down a tower block and spend 50 million. They need to spend 50 million maybe with the people, improving their standards of life and improving their education prospects.
I watched a documentary on people that drink and drive, and what they used to do was that, like, after road accidents, they used to take people that constantly drank and drive to like mortuaries and like make them see like what like people look like after they've been knocked over, and they should do the same with black boys. They should take them to go and see what people look like when their brains are blown out, and see how fast they'll pick up a gun.
What do you reckon it's going to take to get some of these?
That could go one of two ways, ma'am. They could either see how fast they're gonna see that, right? And they're gonna be like, oh no, I got to stay strapped because I don't want this happening to me. Or it could happen your way as well.
It's used to put down the gun.
I think a good education, really. Like, 'cause most of the black kids, they just get dashed out of school early, like, nothing to do with your time. You just end up with too much time on your hands. That's when you start doing madness. That's what happens.
What? You think the school is to blame in some way?
Totally. That's the core of it, because you're out on school, you're out on road from a young age, so all you know is road.
Is that what happened to you?
I got dashed out of school, and all I knew was road.
A lot of teachers ain't really got it. They're just there to teach, and they're not really there to communicate or get to know anyone. They're just there to teach.
That's a fact. That was my high school experience, except like one teacher. Everybody else was there just to do their specific job. They didn't. A lot of people didn't really know the nuances of teaching or what else is really required of a teacher sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like being a teacher is definitely one of them jobs. Like, you gotta love this. You gotta have a true passion for teaching and kids. Like, I want to better kids. They are the future. Like, I want to invest my time and emotion into them. Like, whatever they going through, like, I want it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because teachers are mentors. Like, you see your teacher sometimes when you in high school more than you see your parents. Like literally.
Read the piece of paper. Yep, you've got to do this. They don't get to know the people. They should really get to know the people that they're working with.
One of the teachers looked at Dutch and said basically, he's never going to become anybody. And from the moment that was said to Dutch,
I've heard that.
Gave up. Kids need to be inspired, no matter what color, creed, or background.
It inspired me, though. Like, one of my teachers, I told you, my favorite subject, he had a substitute teacher, and this lady just like, oh my God, she was just, nope. She was one of those substitute teachers that everybody was getting on. Like, you know how kids are. They would always say stuff to her or whatever, and she called me the N-word. In front of a class full of people. It was like crazy. But my goal was to come back and be making more than teachers. So that just motivated me. Like, hey, I get more money than you now. So, I mean, hey, salute. You must love your job. But I'm pretty sure she didn't love her job. I'm pretty sure she doesn't do that anymore, though. So.
They need it. They need inspiration in their life. They need hope. And they need to have their dreams. And a lot of them haven't got any. And once you take that away, there's nothing for them. So, of course, all they got left is the violence.
The roads are bringing up our young black boys, and that's all they know is the streets. They don't know anything else. And the ones that do know, like, education is the way, and I'm going to try and do things this way,
being straight doesn't pay enough.
Their downfall is the boys that have been brought up by road, because we're stereotyped, like, so badly. You know what I mean? A black guy can walk into, like,
no, we're not watching Top Gear.
Like a group interview, and he's just not getting a job.
We watched 2 Top Gears back-to-back days. See? No, sir. I'm being honest with you.
He's no matter how good he is, he's not getting it.
Yeah, I know. That's how I tell him to come get you. You don't want to go out there. I've got good qualifications, but it's just so long, like, trying to get a good job, like, and getting, like, good pay or something like that. It's just so long. Like. I got 5 A's and 3 B's, like, but hey, thanks for that. No, it's fine. I'm just finding it difficult. I'm handing in my CV, like, and I'm seeing people. I'm coming up to, like, managers, like, if I even talk about English, yeah, and, like, they've got jobs, like, and I'm just handing it in, and they're saying, oh, there's, like, vacancies here, and I'm not getting a job. I'm thinking, like, that's a bit mad, but what do you have to do to get a good job, like, or get a job, like, full stop?
What you gotta do is go take your paperwork, give it to one of your homies that don't look like you, and have them hand it in. And then just wait for the call back. You know what I'm saying?
They think that we're just like...
Call that a job hack.
Bad influence or like
we'll scare away customers or something like, so they wouldn't want to give us jobs and stuff.
Because I remember when I was 16, you try to go around getting jobs. Everyone says like, oh, equal opportunities.
His name's Speedos, like the underwear.
Like whatever race or whatever. Like if you're under 18, even though it's less paid, they still give you a chance, yeah. But like the way I see it, in, like when I was at that age, it was all the girls, like black girls as well, but it's mainly the girls that were getting jobs. None of the guys were getting jobs because they see you and they think, okay, the interview, yeah, see, that's it.
With you now, you've got so a nice more sample to the bigger man. You get me, and do what you have to do.
I've got my GCSEs. I'm going to college. I'm doing uni now. Yeah. But I'm just saying that's how it was.
Some people's having babies at young ages, like, and they need to provide for their family and stuff. If they can't get a job, then what can they do? They have to like find other ways to do it.
Some people, like places, retailers, wherever it's retail, whatever job it is, they have bad experience with a couple.
Yeah, this is an early 2000s pair of shorts. These mugs, he got on a 12X pair of shorts.
Black people, and then they like kind of put that pigeonhole on all of them. But then again, you're gonna have the same like bad experience with white people, whatever. It's just they don't like see as much. They automatically think, oh, it's a black person that done that, and then they don't kind of give next people a second chance.
I can't go nowhere. All my time, I'm old school. Yeah, I've been in and out of prison. Yeah, right. I spent 11 years in jail.
Talk to him,
huh? 8.5. Yeah. And then I come out. And when I come out and I see all the changes, I see the government is trying, but we are not doing much to just go down with the flow. You get me? Because with black people, we don't like go out on the flow. We just go and do everything that's on, like we get greedy or something, we'll fight each other or do some foolishness like that. And make the white people say, look, you see, we told him so, like they're all like that. You get me? That means for me, I would hope like the black people will show all the other people, the black or the white people, or like the government, that we can do better than that.
Yeah, I hope for the future. I know what I want to do. I know I want to get my job. I want to do like my music and stuff as well, my sports. And I want to do like get a job if I can't do that, because I'll do that no matter what. But for certain people, I know it's different because everyone's got a different situation when they're growing up and that. So I hope for myself, like certain next people, I hope for them it goes right, but it doesn't always. So.
And nobody, what was they doing? Like a W speech, W talk. That talk was fundamentally sound. It raised a lot of great points from both sides. But what are they playing?
Like, hope for them it goes right, but it doesn't always. So
point blank layup, miss. Come on, bro.
It's all right us saying that education is the way for black people, but if you've got black youths that before the age of 18 they've been put in youth detention centres, when it does come to apply for a job and they've got maybe a drugs conviction behind them, they're not going to get the job, and therefore it leaves the future a bit bleak for them. And a lot of boys that you speak to that do illegal activities, they'll always turn around and say to you that the streets are not nice, and if I could get a job, I'd get one. Yeah. And they do tend to be hard-working guys, because if you wake up at 9 and you can turn off your phone at 10, you're a businessman, and you're definitely hard-working if you're up every day and out on the street by 9 o'clock.
Black people, as positive examples of representatives of the human family, are absent in the national curriculum. So a lot of the black boys, they don't have anything to even found this notion of a positive black male presence. It's not there.
As you know, black boys, they don't really have role models that they could actually use and someone they could look up to. You can go to speak about your problems, you know, things like that. But if you had someone, I had someone like that in school, my business studies teacher. It was a black guy.
Oh, that's good.
And he, I don't know, gave us like the black boys an extra push anyway, and we all looked at him as sort of like a role model at the end of the day. And because of him, we wanted to do good.
I had him as a teacher as well, business studies teacher as well, and he did, you know what I mean, he paid a lot of attention with the black kids as well, and I believe that's why I passed business studies, definitely.
I reckon that for black kids, for black boys especially, to make it...
Nah, no key, yeah, man. Like, if your teacher at least minimally shows some type of interest in what you got going on, you probably gonna pass that class. Or you probably gonna give that teacher less of a hard time. Like, my social studies teacher, my favorite one, Mr. Chan, like, I gave him no problems in class. Not one. He never had an issue. Maybe, like, one time, like, I was having a bad day and, like, maybe went off on him, but like, and other than that, like, solid. I think I passed that class too. With like a B. He was my teacher 2 times for like global studies and like another formal social studies or so. Passed both of them.
So you need more black teachers,
But school like
male
that,
teachers.
man,
It's
school
not
like
need
that,
role
man.
models,
It's
man.
not
Because
about black or
think
white.
about it. Think
Because he deserved for me to pass it.
No, school is not about black or white.
Nah, school is not about
It's about broadening your horizon, man. There's certain things you need to know. There's certain things you need to know to get to a certain place in life.
The man them having an educated conversation.
If you go,
boy, intellectual and everything. He got the Bluetooth headset on.
if you walk into a bank now, you looking for a job, you sound like an idiot. No one's gonna take you, man. You get me?
For you to be comfortable in the school, you have to be comfortable at home.
What's that, a G-Shock?
Yeah, most families today don't last for more than 5 years. They split up. You know, the mum goes their way with the kids and the dad goes their own way. That already leaves something psychologically in the kids' brains already. Then they have to now take that to school and deal with peer pressure from other kids as well. Now that then builds up this image of, I'm a bad man. Do you know what I'm saying? That's like something to protect yourself with at the end of the day.
The first place that all of this needs to start is within the home, and that may be the presence of a black man within black women's lives when they're bringing up sons.
Yeah.
Because
You know
if
what,
you-
the only thing about that now, though, is that definitely needs to start happening, but I think...
And that's not just in black homes. That's in all homes. The presence of a father is 100%. Like, it's necessary. I understand situations and circumstances, but you know what I'm saying?
Everybody's just
That's the goal, man.
too relaxed with, like...
Even if you split up, co-parent, let that baby daddy have his kids some of the on the weekends or whatever days he can, because it'll make a difference.
fact that there's not a black man around, you know what I mean? I've got 2 kids, my baby father's not around, and that's just how it goes, and it's almost like the norm to be like that. It shouldn't be, but the positive side of things is, you know, a lot of black women today are strong and can bring up their children on their own, and it's been done.
There's definitely a shortage of...
Yeah, it's been done. No doubt it's been done. But statistics, you can look it up. Statistics in general speak. And they say, you know, everybody points to statistics at one time or another, man. Statistics say a dual parent household will yield the most successful children. You want to know what household yields the second most successful children? A husband raising, not a husband, a male raising their child. Then the third, these are statistics, this is not my words. The third is a woman who does all that she can, 100%, but a woman can never raise like a man or like, it just can't. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to raise for a woman to like show a man how to be a man. How? How can she do that? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, you got good uncles and good grandpa and good, you know what I'm saying, who are around, but you know, most of the time, maybe that's not even a possibility either. And I sound bogus when I'm saying this because I hear myself in my head, but this is not me. This is statistics speaking. You can look it up. Google it right now, and that's what it's going to say.
Decent black men. Yeah. There's definitely a shortage of it.
Now, this is U.S. I can only speak for U.S., but I'm pretty sure that's... I'm pretty sure that's around the board, right there.
And we can say that women are to blame and maybe their fathers are to blame, but there's definitely a shortage of them.
If you are going to see yourself as some kind of positive presence in a racist society, where are you going to get that positivity from? Where is it going to come from? If we agree that it doesn't come from the national curriculum, which is the primary site of how our youths are socialized, because they are generally in the care of school teachers more than they are of parents. We need to really think about that. They have more one-to-one contact with school teachers often than they do with their own parents for various reasons. Now, if they don't get empowered from there, where are they going to get this sense of self-worth and self-esteem from? So in some ways, it's almost like they flip the coin over and say, see the bad man there, everybody respect them. I want to be a bad man, or I want to be a gangster, or I want to be a drug dealer. But the sad thing is, most of them don't have no idea what that life really entails. They have no idea what road they're really walking down.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. I think maybe when it first started, it was a lot to do with drugs, but I think nowadays, it's more to do with, it's even a respect element. If a boy looks at you, if a boy looks at you, if you're in a rave and a boy steps on your foot and then says what, he might not make it home that night. That's the reality of it.
It may be that maybe by having a gun or whatever, like black men could be regaining some of the power that they lost, like by not having a job, by not like doing well in school,
and maybe feeling in control for once in their situation.
Like black men could be regaining some of the power that they lost, like by not having a job, by not.
All of her statements, this is not far off. Like, it don't sound as crazy as the first one, but it's still not valid. She like 1 and 2 for speaking. 1 valid point, 2 non-valid. Like, what do you even?
Like,
maybe it's a debate. You could just throw out stuff out there.
And maybe feeling in control for once in their situation.
I don't generally think anybody really wants to kill somebody. I think most of the time it's just a front. I've just got to do this for the respect that I'm going to get from other people. Because I generally know guys that have done terrible things and just not wanted to do it, but felt that they had to do it because of the...
See what I'm saying? Lil Ziamal, dang, my fault. You know what I'm trying to say. 2023.
Circles that they're in. Black
boys. Yeah, that's all I be saying. In the chat, he said, my mom raised me and my 3 brothers. There's definitely aspects that she can't cover that fathers could have.
It's in that, like in that culture, whatever, they've lost respect for their lives, and then they project that onto the other men within that circle and think their life's worthless, so killing them is nothing. They're just another, another nigga or whatever, another bread. Just, do you know what I mean? Because that's how they see themselves. They've got, they see themselves low self-esteem.
So what you think? Like they projecting deaths?
And it projects, so it's just another black person, like what they see themselves.
If you can't see much self-esteem or self-worth in yourself, and then how are you going to see that in someone else? No, what happens is you see that person as less than sometimes, which is why it's so easy for you to kill them. If you ask some of these youths, don't you realize if you shoot someone in the head, it's not like a cartoon, they're not coming back? They don't even really consider that a lot of the time. They have such low self-esteem and such a low idea of what it is to be black and valued that it explains why there is this propensity to violence. It's total self-destruction.
You've got quite a few arms there. How many guns?
I guess because when she said it, it was a solid point. Like it raised my eyebrow. I was like, so what you saying? They self-projecting murder? Like that was pretty tough.
Guns in total does your firm have?
Maybe 3, 4 each baby. You buy them like trainers. Like one day you might have done something with one, dash that away, anything.
One of the principles that I grew up with in South Central was you never pull a gun on anyone and not use it, because you're pretty much guaranteeing your death next time they see you. So. Did
I tell you about that, man? I told you. We was watching 24 Hours in Police Custody yesterday, and I told you, bro flashed that knife and didn't use it. Well, you almost signed yourself away at that point.
I can pretty much see that those same types of principles are developing in the streets here.
Look at sometimes the history of murderers or people who murder people. They would tell you, once you've killed the first person, it's like stepping on an ant.
What do you think about the killings that's happening?
I don't really care about anybody else except me and my man them. I don't care about the problem. I don't give a shit.
What a weeping! Oh, what a mourning!
All right.
Supposing on me and a judgment day.
Sing it again!
Supposing on me, supposing coming on the judgment day. Oh, what are we?
That's what I want, man. If I ever pass away, just turn up at mine. Don't be all sad. Go ahead, turn up. You know what I'm saying? Have an after party, get drunk. Turn up. Put a big little poster of me, and you know, let's do it.
How many people have to die? How many people have to get hurt? When, do you know what I mean? When's it gonna all stop? What, you know, it's all right saying, the community, we need to get together and, you know, rah, rah, rah. We're not getting together. We're not really doing anything about it. Can we have some help, please? Can we have some help now?
In the 60s and whatever, the government knew what was going on in America, what was happening to the people. Laws didn't get changed until they got together and said it has to change. And if they didn't, it would cause, you cause enough. Exactly.
What's she talking about? What laws got changed?
This country, it
But
takes
that's what,
riots.
you know, Brixton riots.
Yeah, it takes riots for there to be change.
Together before there's change.
When
We can't
something
wait for
major
them.
happens,
They like it happening.
The government they knew before that it was gonna get like out of hand. This could have been prevented.
Now, hold on now. We'll tell y'all. She 1 for 2. But back in the 90s, back in the 80s, even now, she's holding ground out here. You know what I'm saying? Natural. You know what I'm saying?
Easily.
And America's an example.
Exactly.
She's still giving.
But that's part of the problem as well. I think black people are a little too relaxed about things because they're saying, you know, like you were saying that like they don't get like help maybe after someone's murdered. Like, but they could ask for a lot more things. They need to like. They're saying they want all these things. They need to kind of push people. They need to kind of push
need to
for
be a
it.
bit more assertive.
Like, all right, fair enough. Your son's been murdered, but like, you know, it's not go home and be
But
sad.
how
You have to like really fight
But
about
then
it.
even if-
Why should like other people like I don't know the police and whatever start taking an interest in like how many people are getting murdered when we're not really showing that we're interested in it?
We can present more positive examples of ourselves because white society is not going to do that. They're not going to commission us to do things that are empowering or uplifting. We have to do that ourselves.
Operation Trident, the Black Task Force. Of course, well, you know. I don't think I've ever really heard Trident give a statement. Alright, Mandem, Bang Bang Manor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of editing to do. But you know, it was very enlightening. It's very, 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 very enlightening. Tell leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn your post and go.